All right, so we are diving into the world of Gracie Abrams.
You sent over a ton of stuff about her, articles and interviews and background on her music.
And we're here to unpack why her music, especially I Love You, I'm Sorry, resonated with you.
Yeah, it's interesting how she goes beyond like the typical, sad girl thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, her songs are about those like raw emotions and stuff, but there's this whole other layer of depth there
Right.
because of her background and everything.
Well, let's talk about that background a bit.
I mean, her dad is JJ Abrams.
Oh, yeah.
Star Trek Lost?
Right.
That's got to be a wild childhood.
But she didn't immediately follow in those footsteps, did she?
No, she actually started out at Barnard.
Wow.
The Ivy League school,
Yeah.
studying international relations,
Okay.
which is so different from songwriting.
Completely
It
different.
makes you wonder what made her switch gears.
Right.
Was songwriting always there in the back of her mind?
It's like a plot twist in like a coming-of-age movie. It takes guts to make that change.
Especially with such a big family legacy in entertainment.
Totally.
The pressure must have been unreal.
It seems like music was always calling to her.
Even though her parents had strict rules about social media.
What kind of rules?
Like no phone until 8th grade
Wow.
and no public Instagram until 16.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
Oh my gosh, no.
But when she did start posting, it was her music that like broke through.
Yeah.
Those early videos of her singing just blew people away.
And that's how Interscope Records found her.
Exactly.
Okay.
Not family connections or anything like that.
Just pure talent.
That's incredible.
Yeah. And speaking of talent,
Her first EP Minor is so raw and emotional.
a lot of it was inspired by her relationship and breakup with Blake Slatkin.
Wait, wasn't he involved in the production of Minor too?
Yes.
That's intense.
Right. To work together creatively while going through a breakup,
Yeah,
it says a lot about the relationship.
definitely.
It adds another layer, don't you think?
100%.
That's not something you see every day.
Okay, so she releases Minor.
And then, boom, touring with Taylor Swift and Olivia Rodrigo.
Huge.
That's insane.
How did she go from her bedroom to those massive stages?
Do the sources say if she was always comfortable performing live?
It's interesting, she actually found performing live terrifying at first.
Really?
But then the pandemic hit and everything went virtual.
Oh, right.
She started doing those online shows from her bedroom.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, like a full circle moment.
Totally.
Those Zoom shows must have helped her get comfortable with bigger audiences.
For sure.
So let's talk about I Love You, I'm Sorry.
It reminds me of her older song, I Miss You, I'm Sorry.
Yeah.
Is this like a theme in her music?
Definitely.
It's like she's looking back at that same heartbreak.
But now she has more experience, a few years, and albums under her belt.
You can hear her growth through the music.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good point.
And she wrote, I Love You, I'm Sorry, with her childhood friend,
Oh,
Audrey Hobart. Yeah. And I always wonder if that shared history, if that comes through in the music.
Right, because it's like they're weaving their own experiences into it.
Yeah.
Do you think that's why so many people connect with it?
It's like wanting to go back and change how a relationship ended.
Maybe. Yeah, her lyrics are so raw and honest.
Yeah.
And the melody is almost conversational.
It is.
It's like she's telling you a secret,
right.
sharing something really personal.
Exactly.
And that makes you feel close to her.
Yeah, for sure. And that realness isn't just in her music either.
Like when she speaks out about stuff she believes in.
Her stance on abortion rights, for example.
Right, she signed that open letter in the New York Times.
Exactly. And designed that T-shirt to raise money.
Yeah, she's using her platform to make a difference.
It's pretty cool.
Okay, so we talked about her background and how she's grown as an artist.
And her activism.
But going back to what you said before.
About her being more than just a sad girl artist.
Mm-hmm.
What else do you hear in her music?
Well, it's super personal and introspective.
But it's relatable, too.
Yeah.
Those messy feelings we all have in relationships.
Right.
The things we don't always talk about.
Totally.
She sings about them with such vulnerability.
Yes. And musically speaking, who are her influences?
Well, we can't talk about Gracie Abrams without mentioning Joni Mitchell.
Oh, really?
She's a huge fan, even has a river tattoo.
Whoa, a river tattoo. I wonder what that looks like.
But why Joni Mitchell? What is it about her music?
I think it's the honesty in the lyrics.
And how she writes songs like poetry.
Right.
Joni Mitchell's music is known for being really confessional.
With these beautiful melodies.
And she's not afraid to explore all kinds of emotions.
That makes sense.
And you can hear those same qualities in Gracie's music.
Definitely in her more introspective songs.
Yeah.
It's interesting how those older influences still find their way into music today.
Totally.
So she's got those classic singer-songwriter vibes.
but also that modern pop sound.
How does she blend it all together so well?
I don't know, it's like her superpower or something. Right. Taking those classic elements like good storytelling and emotional depth.
And making them feel fresh and new.
It's true, and her voice, too.
Oh, yeah.
There's just something about it.
It pulls you in. That fragility, but also strength at the same time.
It makes you want to listen closely.
For sure.
So back to why you wanted to deep dive into I Love You, I'm Sorry.
Do you think we figured it out?
I think so.
Her personal story, her honest lyrics, the influences we talked about.
It all comes together.
Yeah. And it's so relatable.
The fact that she wrote it with her childhood friend
Right.
makes it even more special.
It's like a glimpse into their friendship.
Exactly. And that's what makes Gracie Abrams so unique.
She lets us into her world.
And by doing that, she makes us feel less alone.
It's true.
That's a real gift.
It is.
So for like a final thought here.
We talked about how Gracie Abrams' music is inspired by her own life.
But she also grew up around storytelling because of her dad.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So do you think there's a connection there?
Interesting question.
Like if you grow up in those fictional worlds.
Could that make you better at expressing yourself through art?
It makes you wonder.
Right.
If being around all those stories, even if they're made up.
Changes how you understand and share your own feelings.
Yeah, like they've learned how to tell stories.
Exactly.
How to make people feel something.
And that's what Gracie Abrams does so well.
Really. She's not afraid to be vulnerable and real.
And that's what makes her music so powerful.
It's been awesome talking about all this with you.
Yeah, this was fun.
I feel like I get her music even more now.
You do.
And for everyone listening, we hope you enjoyed this deep dive into Gracie Abrams' music.
And that it gave you some things to think about.
Until next time.